Join Atswei on the Health Talk Show. Listen every Saturday from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. UK time on Akoko Africa Radio UK. Join Atswei on the Health Talk Show. Listen every Saturday from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m.
Health
UK
Talk Show
time on Akoko African Radio UK.
Our priority.
Hello everyone, good evening. This is Akoko Africa Radio UK and this is Bytes. I'm very sorry we are late today, but we are ready now. Well, we really apologize for this, and we have lawyer Edumund here today. Last week he was here and he talked about divorce and succession. Today is here to talk about land acquisition and ownership. We all know the problems we have in Ghana when it comes to land. Even quite recently we heard about the shooting of one soldier because of these land issues. So we have invited lawyer Edumund to come and talk to us about how to acquire land, where to buy it from, and anything pertaining to that. So if you have any questions, please send your questions to us. We have only 1 hour today, and we want to do it as quickly as we can because we are already running late. Before we go on, we'll get a message from our sponsors. Thank you.
Hey there, fabulous folks. Are you ready to take your locks to new heights of beauty and vitality? Then listen up, because Tiny Hands Locks is here to make your hair dreams a reality. Located at the heart of natural beauty, Tiny Hands Locks isn't just a salon, it's a sanctuary where your locks are pampered and celebrated. Now, let's talk about our top-notch hair care services and products. At Tiny Hands Locks, we believe in the power of nature's bounty to nurture and revitalize your locks. At Tiny Hands Locks, we are dedicated to crafting bespoke lock styles that enhance your natural beauty and reflect your unique personality. From starter locks to locks maintenance, we've got you covered every step of the way. And when it comes to products, we've curated a range of natural wonders that are sure to leave your hair feeling pampered and rejuvenated. From clarifying shampoos to revitalizing conditioners, each product is meticulously formulated with nature's finest ingredients to cleanse, nourish, and protect your locks. But wait, there's more. Visit our website at www.tinyhandslocks.co.uk to explore our full range of services and products. Located at 24 Swan Close, Feltham, TW13 6PA. Just give us a call at 0783 298 9531 and we'll take care of the rest. So what are you waiting for? Treat yourself to the luxury and care you deserve with Tiny Hands Locks. Because at Tiny Hands Locks, we're not just about hair, we're about empowering you to embrace your natural beauty and shine from within. Discover the magic of Tiny Hands Locks today. Hey there, fabulous folks. Are you ready to take...
When it comes to balloons and balloons decoration for your baby Christian, for your ceiling floral, You Smile is the place to be. For your wedding setup, your beautiful wedding setup, backdrops, and everything when it comes to planning, coordinating, and delivery, You Smile is the best. For your indoor programs, for executive programs, for corporate events, You Smile is a place to be. Call on us and we shall give you the best of services. Our telephone numbers are 0242571571 and also 0243639381. Our social media handles are IG You Smile Events on Facebook, Use Smile Events, and also on TikTok, Use Smile Events. Come and let's do business, and you'll never regret it. Use Smile. Satisfaction is our hallmark. We'll make sure we deliver, and our delivery is always on point.
So Jesus, you brought heaven down. My sin was great, your love was greater. What could Jesus Christ, my King? What a wonderful name it is.
When it comes to balloons and balloons decoration for your baby Christian, for your ceiling floral, Use Smile is the place to be. For your wedding setup, your beautiful wedding setup.
Hello, welcome back. This is Akoko Africa Radio UK, and this is Law Bytes. We have here lawyer Edumund Addo. Lawyer Addo, you are welcome again to Akoko Africa Radio UK.
I'm happy to be back. My regards to all your listeners.
Thank you. Okay, so today we've decided to talk about land acquisition and ownership. We all know all the problems we have when it comes to land issues in Ghana, and it's really, really serious. And I think it will be good for everyone to understand everything that needs to be known before acquiring a land or owning a land in Ghana. We are happy for you to be here today to tell us more about it. When we talk about land in Ghana, what are we referring to? Land.
Thank you very much. It is very important that we understand what it means when you see land. Land, when we talk about land, we are referring to the soil.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever is under the soil, whatever is on it,
Mm-hmm.
and whatever is above it. So if you buy land, whatever is on the land, trees, crops, building, whatever, the soil itself and whatever is under it
Mm-hmm.
is part of the land.
Mm-hmm.
So when you buy the land, if there is a building on it, once it's been sold to you,
Mm-hmm.
it becomes part of the land. So it is very important that we appreciate that from the onset.
Okay.
But there is a prevuso. That is where you buy the land,
Mm-hmm.
and later you discover that the land has natural resources. For instance, you find minerals in the soil. That becomes a state property.
Okay.
I hope that is clear.
Mm.
When you buy the land, everything that is on the land, above the land, under the land is yours. But once you discover natural resources such as gold,
Mm-hmm.
any other minerals, oil, that natural resource becomes the property of the state.
Okay. So in this case, let's say you buy a land and you find there's oil and it becomes the property of the state. Is the state going to pay you or give you any compensation for that?
Exactly so. Once it's been discovered that the land which you have acquired legally has natural resources embedded in it, then the state will come in and buy you out. that is, will compensate you for it and try to take ownership of the natural resource.
Okay. All right. So in Ghana, who are the main owners of the lands in Ghana?
Very well. In Ghana, land is owned by either the state, the stew, or skin, depending on which region you are talking about. Then you can have the clan or family. Then we can have lands owned by individuals. We're talking about the state, the stew, that is state lands, stew lands, clan, family, or individual owners. So any of these entities can own land in Ghana.
Okay. All right. So who can, apart from that, can anyone just go and buy a land? Who can own a land?
Yes. Anybody at all can own a land in Ghana. But there are restrictions.
Okay.
And that restriction only goes to restrict foreigners. Foreigners can own land in Ghana, but that is, they can only have a leasehold up to 50 years.
Okay.
You cannot have more than that interest in land in Ghana. Aside that, any other person can own land in any part of the country.
So any person can just go own a land. Like you're saying, foreigners have the leasehold for 50 years.
That is so.
Okay. And after the 50 years, what happens then?
Well, it is subject to renewal. Other than that, it will revert to the owners, original owners. That is those who sold the land to that foreigner.
Okay. So, what are the legal documents you need to when you are buying a land?
Okay. It is very, very important that you appreciate or understand the history or the ownership of the land you are buying. If it is a stew land, then you should be buying it from the stew. And of course, every stew has a head, that is the chief. So if you are buying stew land, the chief must be part of the transaction, or his reps, his representatives. Of course, that has to also involve the elders of the stew.
Okay.
It cannot be just the chief. The elders must also be part of the transaction. So you have to ensure that this land you are buying, all these parties are in the known, or they are part of the transaction. You cannot go and engage a chief and get a chief to sign a document for you without the consent of the elders of the stew.
Okay.
If you are buying it from a family, then the elders of the family head, and some of the elders also must be in the know. In terms of signing, of course, it's one person who may sign, another may be witness. But you should make sure that the right person is the one you are transacting the business with.
Okay.
And before doing that, it is advisable that you conduct a search to be sure that the grantor, the lessor, the one selling the land to you, is actually the owner of the land. That is very, very important. Sometimes, documents can be forged. they can present themselves to you as the rightful owners, only for you to realize later that
They are not.
Yes, so it is important that you may engage a professional who will do proper search, conduct a proper search to establish who the rightful owners are, and to be able to advise whether you are buying the land from the right person or the right institution or entity. That is very, very important.
All right. Okay. So if you're buying a land in Ghana, can it be used for anything, or is there a restriction on what you can use the land for?
Okay, good question. Well, it is actually very necessary that when you are buying the land, you try to find out the zoning of that, where the land is situated.
Okay.
Or located, because the town and country planning would be able to tell you what the plans are for that particular area. So if you are going to put up a school, if you are going to put up a church or whatever, or you want to put up a residential, you must be able to establish that that is permissible by the town and country planning. Yes, so that is very, very important.
Okay.
So, and I'm sure when you are buying the land, you will disclose whatever you want to do there to
the owners,
perhaps those selling it to you, and they should be able to tell you that, hey, you cannot have this here or not.
So these are some of the things that create problems when people acquire land and they don't use the right sources. And so, like I said, if they are building a school and maybe that place is not planned for commercial,
you cannot have a school there, then you have challenges. Once you start a project, you have the town and country planning coming to you to write work or whatever.
Okay. So how can you acquire a trouble-free land without problems? How can, because it's so difficult to do that now in Ghana.
Exactly. That is why I've said that it is very important that you engage a professional, lawyers, people who have been in this business. They'll be able to do a proper search, conduct a proper search to establish that the rightful owners are selling the land to you. They will do all other things. For instance, depending on where the land is located, a lawyer would go beyond just going to do a search at the lands registry. He may also want to go to the collateral registry. Maybe the land or the property you are buying has been used for as a collateral. You may not know. So all of this has to be part of the due diligence you do before parting away with money. So that's very, very important.
Okay.
You need to ensure that the necessary due diligence has been conducted before you part away with money. So we normally will advise that you don't just rush. First of all, you need to go into what we call sale and purchase agreement, where you spell out the terms of the engagement. For instance, this is the size of land you want to buy. This is the price. You include as part of the conditions you want to conduct a search. You are not making full payment. Maybe you pay just 10% while you engage in the search. So you spell out the terms, and once you are satisfied and all the terms have been met, then you can now go into the final contract where you have the indenture, the site, and all those. Then sign off. You are sure that the land you are buying the land from the right source.
Okay.
Let me say this also. Last week we learned that there is what we call joint property, where there is marriage. For instance, you are buying a land from an individual who is married. You must ensure that if that land or that property, it could be a house I've told you that when we talk about land, we are referring to whatever is on the land and whatever is beneath.
Yes.
So Even when I say land, I could even mean a house. You understand? So when you are buying, you must establish that the one selling to you has the consent. If he's married, he has the consent of the spouse. If he doesn't, and he sells the land to you, the spouse can come at you, can go to court and get the court to reverse the sale.
Okay.
So that can be part of the due diligence. You are buying a land for somebody who is married. I must state that the land law is regulated by a consolidated act that was passed in 2020. That's the Land Act. Land Act 2020, Act 1036.
Okay.
This is the law that regulates anything about land in Ghana, including this issue of land guards. When we started, you mentioned that there is a case currently, somebody has been shot because of land.
Yes.
In actual fact, under Section 12 of the New Land Act, that's Act 1036, if somebody stops you, prevents you from developing your land, or tries to extort money from you for land you have bought, you have legally acquired, but you have to report the person to the police.
Okay.
It's a criminal offense that is punishable by law, and you can be jailed. You can be sentenced to prison between 5 to 15 years. Yes. So this is now the new law has criminalized the act of land guard, or the activities of land guard in the country.
Okay.
A lot of people don't know, but if you come by somebody who is frustrating you, trying to deprive you of developing your land, or trying to extort money from you when he's not the one who sold the land to you, it's a criminal offense.
Okay.
That you can report to the police.
All right. Thank you very much, guys. You heard that. If you have a land and somebody is giving you problems as being the land guard, you can always report that person. You still listening to Akoko Africa Radio UK, and this is Law Bytes with lawyer Edumund Addo. We are talking about land acquisition and ownership in Ghana. Lawyer Addo, so if you want to check that the land you are buying is legit to the person who is selling it to you, where do you go to have this check done? Okay,
so like I said, either the land is a stool land, it's a state land, it's a land owned by a family, that's family land, or a clan, or it's a land owned by an individual. So you need to be sure that the land you are buying, if you are buying it from an individual, you need to be sure that that person owns the land. Maybe it's a family land, it's a member of the family and is trying to sell the land to you.
Yeah.
Family lands can only be sold by the chiefs, if the consent of the elders of the. If it is a family land, it is only the head of family with the consent of the elders. So if somebody comes to you and is selling to you, you must be able to establish whether the land is a family land, land, or if it's not, it's a state land that you don't know.
Okay.
You understand? So you not a search through the Lands Commission.
Okay, Lands Commission.
Yeah, you apply to the Lands Commission the details of the land you are trying to acquire, and they will give you go through the search and give you the search results. So you will see the history of the ownership of the land. Having moved from, maybe you is a family land that's moved from the family to an institution to a person, and before it gets to you. So you'll be able to establish, and when there are gaps, you should be able to ask questions. Why? How come? Sometimes you see that, the family sold to Mr. A. Now the land is with Mr. D. So you ask yourself, so how did he get Mr. D? the search should tell you that when he got to Mr. A, Mr. A sold it to Mr. B. Mr. B sold it to Mr. C. Or get to Mr. D. But sometimes from the search, you will see gaps. That should raise a red flag.
Okay.
You understand? You need to establish that no, there's nothing has gone wrong. Other than that, you go and start developing the land, then the Mr. C, whom you didn't see on the search, will appear. You understand?
Yes.
So very, very important that you conduct a thorough search and be able to convince yourself that the person you are buying the land from is the rightful owner.
Okay. From what you're saying, I want to know, is there like a law that controls the sales of land? Because it looks like, okay, I come from a family that we have land, then I just decide to sell it to someone. So somebody knows like, oh, this person is the daughter of the chief in this town. So if she's selling the land, it means it's legit. But maybe my dad doesn't know anything about. Is there any law that regulates the sales of land?
Yes. So like I'm saying, we have the land law, Act 1036. Everything about land in Ghana is in it. It talks about the establishment of the customary land secretariat. That is the secretariat, which is supposed to regulate and have records of lands under their jurisdiction. So, for instance, if you are talking about Accra, we have different divisions. If it is under St. Peter's stool, if it is under the last stool or whatever, there should be there is supposed to be a secretariat which has been established by the new act.
Okay.
The secretariat must have records of the history of all the lands under their jurisdiction. So if you have issues with the land you are buying, you can go to the customary land secretariat, the secretariat in charge of that land, and they will go through their records and advise you.
Okay. Thank you very much. So who is responsible for making documents on the land when you purchase the land? Are you the buyer? Are you the one responsible for doing the document, or is the seller the one supposed to do the documents?
Yes, it's only a lawyer who can prepare land document for you.
Okay.
In consultation with the sellers. It's only a lawyer who can draft all the conveyances for you.
Okay.
And the grantor or the lessor would sign the actions. So that the grantor or you yourself cannot go and prepare a document saying I've bought the land. No, it's only a lawyer by law that can do that. It's only a lawyer, so get that right.
Okay. All right. We are still listening to Akoko Africa Radio UK, and this is Law Bytes. I have a few questions here for you, Lawyer Addo.
Please go ahead.
Okay, just looking. Let me get my glasses. Juliet Mills said, would you have some sort of land registry to show if it's yours or something?
Yes. In actual fact, ownership of land, like I referred you to the land commission or land title registry. Once you buy your land, you are required to register it. So it will be in your name. Anybody at all who conducts a search on that land will see your name reflect on the records at the Lands Commission.
Okay.
So it's very, very important. That's why I advise that if you want to buy land, make sure that you undertake the necessary due diligence by conducting a search. If you conduct a search and that land has been registered, you will see the owner in the search results.
Okay.
Unless, of course, the seller has not registered that land, and it will not reflect on the search results. But if that land you are buying has been registered, and in actual fact, Lands Commission have records of all the lands in the country. So if you are buying the land, they will know the original owners, that's the Alodia owners.
Okay.
Those who first own that land, the records will be there. So from there, the ownership title has passed on to until you are buying it. So the current owner will reflect in the results. That is, if every owner of that land has registered that title, then you see it on the search results. But if the seller has not registered the land, you will not see it.
Okay.
That means that you need to do more search. Sometimes you want to go to the land and interview people around and all those things. So that's why I'm saying that you must engage an expert, a lawyer who will do thorough work for you before he will advise you to part away with money.
Okay. All right. Thank you. So Juliet Bill said, great information for the landowners and buyers. AC said, how fast is the search? When you are doing the search, how fast is that?
Well, as far as my experience is, now the place has been computerized, so it doesn't take much time. I'm sure within a week you should be able to get your search results. Yeah. You should be able to get your search results. In fact, if it depends on which lands commission. We have the regional lands commission. So if the land falls under Accra, you go to the Accra Lands Commission. If it is Eastern region, you go to Kumasi. You go to Kufuria. If it is Ashanti region, the lands commission is in the Ashanti region. So every lands commission and their processes.
Okay.
If they are well computerized and their records are good, it will be easy for them to just give you the results.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. AC, that's your answer. So it doesn't take that long. The next question is from AC again. Say, to obtain a result of a search of a land, please, who pays for that search or who hires the lawyer to facilitate this process?
In fact, it is actually the buyer.
Okay.
Normally the buyer. But if the seller is interested in proving to you that, hey, the land is mine, I'll prove to you, he can also go ahead to bring the search. But it is always in your interest as the buyer to do the search yourself. So you pay for it and get the results and know that it's authentic. If you expect the seller to go and conduct a search, a seller who is not truthful can try and manipulate things and come and give you a report prove to you that it's for him. So it is advisable that you are involved or you engage a lawyer who will do an independent search for you.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Juliet Bill says thank you. DJ Kobe said, what if not registered? Is it very genuine from the seller? So if it's not registered but it's a genuine seller?
Yes, of course. How do you establish that it's a genuine seller? Yes. A lot of lands in Ghana are not registered. A lot of people are living in their homes. The land on which the houses have not been registered. In fact, some houses do not even have documents covering the land. You understand? Yes, so it's possible you may come by somebody who says, I have this land, I have the title, even though I have not registered it. You understand?
Yes.
But it behoves on you to establish the truth. To be sure that even though that land is not registered, it's for the seller. Yeah. The only way is through the search.
Okay.
At least if the seller has not registered, for instance, the seller bought the land, he has not registered it. but the one who sold it to him might have registered it. You understand? So when you conduct the search, you will see the search results showing the one who sold it to him. So if you can establish that yes, the one who sold it to him really sold it to him, as he claims he owns title, then you can believe that the land is for him. Because the search results is telling you that the one who sold it to him was the owner.
Okay.
You get it? So if he was the owner and the one who sold it to him, you can establish that really indeed he bought it from him. Then, other than that, you must find a way of proving that he really owns the land before you add money.
All right. Thank you very much. The next question says, is it safe to buy a land from a corporate entity? Example, the bank.
In actual fact, they are the safest you can have, because as a corporate entity, they normally would have the right records, documentation, everything will be right. But also, like any other sale, any other purchase, you need to do your search.
Okay.
You understand? It could be a corporate entity. Sometimes, even though they have documents, they are being challenged by another entity. And the case might be in court. So even if they've shown you documents that they own the land, the land could be under litigation. And
then you end up fighting.
Exactly. So the search must be done. But it's mostly the safest you can have. Buying it either from the state or from a corporate entity, or directly from the chiefs. And of course, if you are buying it from the chiefs, the right folk, those who have the authority to sell the land, that is the chief and his elders. If you go and buy it from somebody who claims he's a chief, maybe he's even not the chief. So you must establish all that.
Okay. All right. And there is another one says, can the land title deed be falsified?
Exactly. As for documentation, there are four documents all over the place, which you need to be able to. You must be vigilant. Actually, you must be vigilant, and it pays to give it to a professional to do it for you.
Okay.
Don't be in a rush to part away with money. For land, if you are buying land in Ghana, particularly Accra, if you don't take care, you buy litigation. You buy the land, you start going to court.
Yeah.
So you don't have to rush at all. Spend some little money, pay a lawyer, pay somebody to do the necessary due diligence for you.
Okay.
Other than that, you part away with money, and the next moment you are in court. You bought the land, you cannot enter the land to develop it.
Okay.
So do not rush to buy land. Engage an expert who can do the proper thing for you, so that when you buy, you can sleep.
Okay. Guys, you just heard from the lawyer. Do your search well before buying the land, because you don't want to spend your time going to court for a land you've just purchased.
That is so.
Okay, you are still listening to Akoko Africa Radio UK, and this is Law Bytes. This is getting very interesting. I have another question for you. It's from Nigogo. Can one just take the document from the seller of the land to Lands Commission to register the purchased land?
I don't get it.
So,
taking the documents to go and do the search or to register?
To register.
I have to understand the question.
So this looks like the land is not registered, but they have, I don't know what kind of documentation they have on it, but then
okay,
yeah.
So you when you have access to the documents, in fact, when you are buying, try and get the documents